Welcome back to Ariel the Knight.
So let's read what these things are exactly. By the way, Mina, konnichiwa, JesusFreakinGamer here. I didn't even get to do my fucking intro.
Good.
An obscure knight of poor damn.
I told you, you're a failure.
Of poor renown who collapsed roaming the land. Sturdy, owing to high vitality and stout armor. A mercenary and veteran of the battlefield. That doesn't sound horrible. High dexterity allows masterful wielding of dual scimitars. Damn.
Badass.
Descendant of northern warriors famed for their brawn. Utilizes high strength to wield a heavy battle axe. Ooh, I won't deny that's a little tempting. So that's, I say that's the warrior.
Man, I would be okay with any of these classes but deprived.
I've got to start out as weak as possible.
One thing I'm super hyped about this.
Yeah.
Is the starting class is actually pretty good. In that the Herald, like they did a really good job. In that the Herald is like a dex. It's like a dex strength, but it's still faith. It still does miracles. The Assassin is a dex character that still does sorceries. Like they combined physical and magic for a couple of these, which I really like. And also the Pyromancer starting class is back. That was gone in the second game.
I'll say I'm looking at the various like starting stuffs here. Okay, so the talisman and a spell. Herald, a former herald who journeyed to finish a quest undertaken. Wields a sturdy spear and employs a gentle restorative miracle. Thief. A common thief and pitiful deserter. Wields a dagger intended for backstabs alongside a military-issue bow. Okay, so that's the secondary item there. Assassin, an assassin who stalks their prey from the shadows. Favors sorceries in addition to thrusting swords. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good too.
I said I didn't even bother looking at what... All these starting outfits look really interesting. That's incredibly interesting. And then Sorcerer, a loner who left formal academia to pursue further research. Apparently didn't do very well. Commands soul sorceries using high intelligence. Okay, so he has...
Rather be a sorcerer than deprived.
Tough shit.
Oh,
Pyromancer.
Man.
A pyromancer from a remote region who manipulates flame. Also an adept close combat warrior who wields a hand axe. Okay, and that's actually pretty standard. He starts with the ring. Oh, and so does that guy. Oh, we're back to 2 rings. But we're up to 4 Estus flasks?
We're not up to... No. That's just showing you your item thing. You can still wear 4 rings in this.
Okay.
And it's not 4 Estus flasks. It's just showing you what starting items you can get.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm just like, that is so fucking weird. Pyromancer. A pyromancer from a remote region who manipulates flame. Also an adept close combat warrior who wields a hand axe. Just read that. Sorry, guys. So, a ring, the pyromancy flame, the basic flame spell. Cleric! From Dark Souls 2, a traveling cleric who collapsed from exhaustion. Channels high faith to cast many and varied miracles. So, emit force and the regular heal. And then, deprived. A club and a plank shield. And that's fucking it. Naked and of unknown origin. Either an unfathomable fool in life or stripped of possessions upon burial.
See, I like...
Wow.
I actually like... I like doing things lore-wise. Also, the reason why I hate deprived in most things is because it starts you off with 10 and everything. You don't need that much fucking intelligence or faith. It's a waste of points. But alright, now. But I kind of like to go for...
Wait, she starts, or he, she, whatever. Are the levels, like, equaled out? It looks like deprived starts out in relatively... If starting at level 1, that means she can level up quicker than other characters. Because no one else starts at level 1.
Yeah, you do more levels. You can get more levels in the beginning, but it's just so many levels are put to waste.
But if you're starting at level 1, literally not a single level is put to waste.
Well, yeah, it is, because, like, why would you have 10 intelligence or 10 faith? Why? When you can go with a knight that has very little of either, but has high vigor. Which is health that's actually useful.
Worthful. That was good.
And see, I like to go for things that are like lore-ish. Like in Dark Souls 1, I found myself actually starting as deprived a lot. Because every single other fucking hollow in that building doesn't have shit. Okay. Why should you? In Dark Souls 2, I can generally go with most anything.
Yeah.
But I find myself, lore-wise, starting out as the warrior a lot. Because he's wearing infantry armor from Drangleic. And all this other shit.
Okay.
This game, I don't know. Pisses me off people don't start as the knight on the first character. It makes me mad. I don't know why. It just does.
Also, the deprived is the failure of the failures.
The knight calls you a piece of shit in the knight's description.
That is, I'll say the knight is spoken of poorly. Who else is spoken of poorly? The thief, the sorcerer. A sorcerer leaving academia to pursue further research
and then dying.
That's a piece of shit. That is a piece of shit. The cleric, that's also spoken lowly of. The deprived, an unfathomable fool, or just fell prey to a bunch of bandits. The ultimate loser. And in the hardest of the main Soul series games. There is no other thing to start with.
God, I hate you so much.
Awesome.
You're literally my least favorite person.
I am glad to hear that. None. Life ring. Rings. Oh, wait.
Man, you don't get a decent set of armor for a while, dude.
And the only thing important in this game is having armor. So, no, this is just going to suck.
Yeah, you don't get armor for a while.
This is going to suck. Let's just read this shit. Life ring. Rank set with a small red jewel raises maximum HP, the tiny being's ring. Divine blessing, warm blessed holy water. Fully restores HP and cures ailments. We've seen that in the last 2 games. Hidden blessing. Pure blessed holy water fully restores FP. You gonna talk about that now?
Okay. So
I'll say now or later.
Yeah, so, FP is cool. You don't have spell uses anymore.
It's a mana meter.
Mana bar. Except that mana affects more than spells. It also affects your usage of weapon arts.
Weapon arts. Okay.
Yeah. Each weapon has a weapon art, meaning like special shit that weapon can do. Every shield also has a special thing. A lot of shields, their thing is parry. Some shields, their special thing is weapon art, meaning that normally, if you had a parry shield,
yeah,
you'd have to two-hand your weapon and hit the parry button to do your weapon art. With shields that have the weapon art special, you don't have to two-hand your weapon. You can just hit the parry button, but rather than parrying, you'll do your weapon art.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and weapon art takes up your mana.
Okay.
Now, you can still do the weapon arts without your mana, but they don't do as much damage, or they don't do as much of what their thing is.
Yeah.
The only exception to that is with daggers. Daggers' weapon art is... I hate... this word sounds losery, but it's the best word to use.
Okay.
You scurry across, like your weapon art. You can't just scurry around, like dash, I guess.
Yeah.
And even when your mana bar or your FP is empty, you can still dash around, which is really good for getting through swamps and shit that slow you down. And you still dash through the swamps.
Oh, nice.
3
swamps in this game, I heard.
Yeah. Also, there was something else I heard. There are now 2 kinds of Estus flasks: normal Estus flasks and Ashen Estus. Ashen Estus restores your FP, and you can decide how many of each you want. So you'll get Estus Shard, or you'll find an Ashen Estus Flask, and then you go to one of the merchants in the hub and say, hey, I want to switch all of my Estus over to normal Estus, or all of them over to Ashen Estus, or 3 of them to normal, 2 of them to Ashen.
So you can do that interchangeably throughout the game.
Yes.
That's really... Which means I'll probably need to throughout the game.
If you're going as a pure physical character, not really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My next question was going to be... Unless you use
weapon arts. Unless you spam weapon arts, just non-fucking stop.
Are weapon arts... You know, it sounds like the difference between a light and heavy attack. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you use the light fucking attack. Unless there's a very special circumstance that calls for your R2.
Weapon arts are pretty cool.
Are they actually useful and something I'm going to use often?
For certain weapons, yes.
For certain weapons, okay. So it's variable. It depends.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for example...
I don't know why I'm yelling so much, I'm sorry.
For example, the first katana you can get in this game... now, you have 2 weapon arts. Your light weapon art, your heavy weapon art. Your light, for example, the first katana you can get, the light is a dash forward and a horizontal slash. The heavy is a parry. Okay. And it has more parry frames than it has more parry frames than I think a parry shield does even.
Oh, wow.
It has a lot of parry frames. It's like you sheathe your weapon and then you can either do the dash forward or you can do a parry with it. So, it's cool shit. Weapon arts are really good for PvP.
Which I don't give a shit about.
Because normally they're unpredictable.
That is very helpful.
So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Black Firebomb. Firebomb charged with a special black powder. An uncouth gift for the departed. An uncouth gift.
Also, another thing about some weapon arts can actually enchant your weapon with certain abilities.
Okay.
Like one of the boss weapons, your weapon art is you hit the weapon art and you do like a shoulder bash. Then if you hit heavy attack, you swing the sword forward and the sword catches on fire. And then your sword stays on fire for a couple of minutes after doing that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Another one is a giant great axe, and its weapon art is you slam it into the ground and it shoots up a lightning spike. Weapon arts. When you get a weapon, I would test the weapon arts as well. When you're testing the weapon's moveset, also test the weapon art because they can do some cool shit. So
having various weapons in this game. Strongest of all the Souls games for various weapons. By far,
my main character, I have a halberd and a greatsword.
Okay.
Both with very cool movesets. Because halberds are also really good for PvP in this game.
Okay.
So, also, R1 spamming is really good for PvP. Just R1. You can stun lock the fuck out of them because there's no poison.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
So, we know what the Black Firebomb is. Fire Gem. Material used to upgrade to fire weapons. More appropriate for a warrior than pretty trinkets. So that very simply, it turns your weapon into a fire weapon, an elemental weapon.
Yeah.
That's all that
does.
does.
Yeah, you can infuse. It's a gem for infusing.
Alright, so just like in the first game, really, if you weren't going natural, lightning was the alternative. That's what you fucking did. In the second game, none of it was really that good. Stick to natural. If you really need an elemental weapon, which you really never did, you stick with your resins. In this game, are any of those elementals important? Or are they, once again, useless?
They are actually pretty cool. They aren't completely useless because weaknesses are actually a lot more varied in this game than in Dark Souls 1. Well, in Dark Souls 1, most everything was weak to lightning.
Lightning, yeah.
In this, there's a lot that's weak to lightning. There's a lot that's weak to fire. There's a lot that's weak to dark. There's a lot that's weak to Blessed, which certain things actually have an alternative. Like, for example, if you take your shield and infuse it with a Blessed gem at your blacksmith, then that shield will slowly regenerate your HP.
Any shield
that can be infused.
Okay.
And it's slow.
Yeah.
But it exists.
Huh.
They're pretty cool.
That's interesting. So, but
you can Bleed is really good for PvP and a lot of bosses.
Okay.
Poison can be really good as it is in Dark Souls 2. The infusions in this game are actually pretty legit.
Huh. Wow.
If you're running a low level character, Raw is better in this game than it is in either of the other two.
Okay.
It's still generally useless if you're going to for your character. It's going to be useless because you're going to keep leveling up.
Yeah.
But if, say, you want to keep your character within a certain level meta for
like a PvP
thing, and you're using a high requirement weapon, there's one weapon in this game that requires 70 strength to use, you might as well infuse it to raw because you're probably not going to put your strength any higher than that. So
holy shit.
Yeah.
70. Wasn't there one in Dark Souls? The smelter wedge.
No, the smelter hammer. Yeah.
70 strength. Fuck that shit. Double dooskies to that fuck shit. I don't care how good it is.
Yeah, so
that's stupid.
Yeah, weapon arts in this game are actually pretty fucking solid, and so are infusions. So
I'll say actually keep them in mind for this game. Sovereignless Soul.
Sorry to cut you off. But for example,
Go ahead.
you're going through there's a snowy area in this game.
Okay.
Say you're going through a snowy area and you're having a lot of trouble, which the snowy area is actually quite a damage bump.
Okay.
So you're having a lot of trouble. A fire enchanted weapon will do more damage to the enemies there.
Okay.
So they can definitely be helpful.
I'll say if the weapons are that varied in this game, it sounds like what you want to do is actually have a pretty decent stash of weapons in your inventory and have different, not resins, but actually infuse the different weapons with different things.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like.
You could definitely take that route. Or you could just rock a normal weapon the entire game and be perfectly fine. You could, if you're good enough.
Yeah. Oh, ooh, is that a challenge there?
No, that's not a challenge. I'm just saying, you're not going to do as much damage to some enemies.
Yeah.
But you could totally just rock a normal weapon.
Okay, so just the standard plus 15s or
plus 10.
Okay, so same as Dark Souls 2 plus 10. That's still pretty damn good. Okay. Sovereignless Soul. The sovereignless soul of one who slept beside you used to acquire many souls. So you can start off with, I guess the sovereignless soul is a
soul from another grave here.
I'll say, is that a bit small, medium, or large soul? It's a soul packet is what it is.
It gives you, I think, 1,600.
Okay, I was like the soul of one who's... Okay, I was thinking the one who slept beside you, so like your former spouse or something. No, it's just of one who slept beside you. Okay, that's all that is. Rusted gold coin. Burial item for good fortune after death. Greatly increases item discovery for a short while.
Rusted gold coins increase your item discovery by 100.
Okay.
Normal rusted coins increase it by 50. Your item discovery is also attributed to your luck stats.
Yeah, I was gonna cover that in just a minute.
Your item discovery is base 100, and then every point of luck beyond that will increase your item discovery by 1 point. So, like right now, if you go into your screen once we start the character, your item discovery should be at 110 because your base at 100 and your luck's at 10.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Cracked red eye orb.
Also, there are a lot of weapons. There are some weapons that scale with faith, or that scale with luck.
That scale with luck?
The scale with luck. There is actually an infusion that scales with luck called Hollow. That scales with luck. Also, infusions in this game are pretty dope in that there are now heavy, sharp, and refined gems. Okay. Heavy will make your weapon scale with strength.
Oh, damn.
Sharp will make your weapon scale with dex. Not perfectly, but better.
Yeah.
And refined will make your weapon scale with quality.
That is so weird.
You can take a katana, put a heavy gem on it, and then it will scale with strength as well.
That is so weird.
It's so cool. And obviously, like, the Blessed Gem would scale with faith. Hollow scales with luck.
Okay.
There's a Hollow infusion. Yeah.
That's so
Dark scales with intelligence and faith. Yeah, all that shit.
Cracked red eye orb.
Dick wraiths!
Online play item. One use only. Become a dark spirit and invade another world. That's a starting item.
Yeah, you could be a dick from the get-go.
A young white branch. Branch of a young white birch, perhaps an offering of peace. Can be used to blend into environment, but only once it transforms you into something.
Transforms you into an object there. So, you know how in the other games there was one that everyone always fucking took? In Dark Souls 1, Master Key.
Yeah.
In Dark Souls 2, no one chose... I like choosing the healing wares. Most people choose the peculiar something.
Yeah, because it gives you one really nice thing from the
there is nothing like that in this game.
And I'm not getting anything because I'm deprived. I'm deprived.
Right,
I don't get anything.
Well, from what I'm aware, generally most people take the Black Fire Bomb. A lot.
Wow. That's because there really is nothing better. And I'm actually going to take... Okay, I'll ask you since I can't ask them directly. I'm going to actually customize this character.
Okay.
Not that I'm ever going to fucking look at her.
Okay.
But I'm going to do it because it's the final game I'm going to play.
Okay, we can do that in between episodes.
So you don't think we should do that on camera? Do not do that on camera.
No, because it's going to take a while.
Okay, so guys, that's the end of this episode. I will come back. She will have some appearance that I actually give a shit about. I'm going to give a shit for this one game. I usually don't even give a shit because how often am I going to look at my character? None. She's going to be fighting. But for this game, even in Fallout 4, which had an amazing character customization. By the way, in comparison to Fallout 4, how is this character customization?
Dark Souls. It's a Dark Souls character customizer.
That's nowhere near as good as Fallout 4.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm still going to take the time to do it on this game.
It's better than 1 or 2. Nowhere near as good as Fallout 4 or Skyrim.
I've never seen anything as good as Fallout
4 was amazing.
That you could tweak every fucking thing. So, I don't care. It's my last Dark Souls game, and I do like these better than the Fallouts. I do. Fallouts are good. I will finish Fallout 4 one day. But I really like the Dark Souls games. They're a lot of fun.
You're welcome.
So I am going to do that off camera, as per his request, because this will take some time. And I will be back on the face presets, and wait, build an appearance or this, okay. So that's where I'm going to focus on all 3 of these. So I'm going to come back with a finalized character. And I'll probably show her off a little bit on camera before the end. So for now, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you disliked it, hit that dislike button. I can understand why you might dislike it. We're talking a lot again, like we always fucking do. So at this point, it should be pretty standard. If you really liked it, though, be sure to hit that like button as well as subscribe and join the freaks. I love you, and God bless.